The nation's capital, Washington, D.C. That's the setting for the Pistons. One of the strongest players in the entire NBA. You just can't slow down Andre Drummond. That's what this team will be hoping for tonight as they game plan for the task ahead at Capital One Arena. Pistons, Wizards on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Tonight, it'll be the Detroit Pistons going up against the Washington Wizards out at Capital One Center. And guys, for the Wizards, they're up over the 500 mark so far at 3-2 on the young season. A decent enough start, and one they're hoping to improve on with a win in tonight's contest. And Dwayne Casey, former Coach of the Year. Shacky does a great job defining roles for his players.
Yeah, with Coach Casey, you always know where you stand. He'll tell you to your face what he wants to see from you every night.
And as a player, knowing exactly what you want and expected of you, that's all you can ask for. It makes it easier knowing that you can get your job done.
That'll do it for us for now. Thanks for tuning in.
It's live coverage of the NBA on Monday night. Thank you for joining us here on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by the talented analyst tandem of Greg Anthony and Chris Webber. David Aldridge is on our sideline. D.A., take it away.
Well, guys, for all of the star power Blake Griffin had when he was in Los Angeles, it was tough for him to be the leader of the Clippers. There were bigger voices in the locker room, such as CP3 and Doc Rivers. But Pistons coach Dwayne Casey said, in Detroit, he's definitely the leader. When he speaks, everybody listens. This is his team. Kevin?
Yeah, and he has their confidence. David, thank you. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Wizards. On Wednesday, they'll be taking on Victor Oladipo and the Indiana Pacers. And then on Friday, they'll take on Kevin Love and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
And, you know, nobody loves playing on the road, but it does offer a good chance to see exactly what your team is made of. This team is going to find out a lot about itself over the next stretch of games.
And a look at the starters for the Pistons. Rose and Jackson of the backcourt. On the front line, the talented duo of Griffin and Drummond. And it's Kennard in at the small forward position. And for the Wizards, Wall runs the point with Beal at the 2. Hachimura out there with Bryant. And it's Mahinmi in at the center position.
And Chris, a very unique experience playing in the nation's capital. What was your time like with Washington?
Oh, I love D.C. Oh, I love Chocolate City. I mean, the surrounding areas of D.C. love the team as well. There's something special about playing in the capital.
Offensive rebound. He gets that one.
Like whenever Jackson uses his speed on the glass, keeping possessions going.
Now, here's Wall. Turned in an outstanding game against Minnesota. Beal against Jackson. And the pass to Hachimura. Outside, Wall. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Bryant. The shot missing. Griffin with some nice D. The kick out to Rose. Shoots the 3. Offensive rebound. And Drummond is right there.
Yeah, Kevin, he's a phenomenal rebounder. You almost need 2 players to box out Drummond.
Rose against Wall. Shot left block. Rebound, Detroit.
Not pretty. You've just got to shake off a miss like that.
Here's Griffin. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson.
There you see why you want the ball in Jackson's hands as much as possible. He can clearly set the table.
So for the Wizards, their last game a win against the Timberwolves.
Yeah, and that one, their intensity on the offensive end was not matched by their opponent. That led to some easy buckets.
They just looked a step quicker all game long. They knew they had an advantage on offense.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
We see this all too often. You have to be willing to put in the work.
Rose, that's good.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. For Washington, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Up top, Mahimi. Here's Hachimura. He's coming off a 10-point game against Minnesota.
And don't leave out his rebounder, Kevin. He had a big impact in that game with all his effort on the glass.
You have to push Hachimura out of there if you're the defense. He's a real problem on the interior.
Here's Rose. Drummond passes to Griffin. Goes back up. And he lays it up and in.
Yeah, off to a strong start here early. 6 points off second chance buckets.
Outside, Beal. Passes to Hachimura. Three-pointer on the way. Here's Bryant. Banked in off the glass.
Yeah, coach's pet peeve there. No box out.
Oh, it's simple. When you fail to put a body on someone, you're inviting a breakdown on the defensive glass.
Now here's Rose. 17 points in his last outing. In the corner, Drummond with it. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Kennard. Second shot opportunity, and the rejection by Mahimi. It's Beal on the wing, guarded by Jackson. Beal's shot is good.
Beal is graceful on the drive. Clever at finding ways around the defense.
Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. It's stolen by Mahimi. In transition, here come the Wizards. Wall, no luck.
I love to see the defense exhibit some passion in protecting the rim right there.
Here's Griffin. That shot off. And Washington the other way now. And this is their first time matched up with the Pistons this year.
In this game, just the first of 4 meetings between these two. They'll get quite familiar with each other by season's end.
I look forward to seeing which team can dictate the style of play. I mean, that's going to set the tone for this entire series.
And out of Japan, a real interesting prospect. Hachimura, especially now that he can stretch the floor.
Yeah, he found the 3-ball in his last year of college, hitting over 40%. You combine that with the size, the motor, he is really versatile, and I feel like he's putting it all together.
And that one misses.
And a major strength of this Pistons team in recent years has been their rebounding.
The whole team contributes, but a big part of that is Drummond. I mean, has only been emphasized more since Dwayne Casey has come in. A very tough team to deal with on the glass.
And he gets it to go. And the Wizards with possession, trailing by 2. Fires the 3. Rebound, Andre Drummond. Drummond's got 5 rebounds tonight. To the inside. And here's Wall. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Pass to Beal. Over Rose. And again, Washington, no good. For Detroit, they've gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the first quarter. Jackson has the open look. Shot is good off the back rim and in. Jackson's got his second basket.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
Beal's shot is good.
As lethal as they come from distance, Beal's outside shot is a thing of beauty to it.
And the Pistons with possession here. Rose with the ball. Pass to Kennard. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
Way to work the inside-out game. Draws the defense in and kicks it out for the open shot.
Wizards trail by 3. Outside, Wall. Outside, Beal. And the Wizards hit again from deep.
And that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems to be slacking off a little bit.
Now Rose. The pass to Drummond. He kicks it to Griffin. Left side Rose. 6 on the shot clock. Over Bryant. Rose, no good.
He's not using his head this quarter. He's got to get back to finding high percentage shots.
Beal drives in. Nice D from Rose. The Pistons have gone 8 of 15 from the field, shooting above 50% here tonight. Passes it to Kennard. The dish to Drummond. On the wing, Jackson. Floats one up. The shot, no good. Washington's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And at times, Chris, reporters have talked about a rift between Beal and Wall. But you know what? Beal has nothing but great things to say about his backcourt mate.
Yeah, Kevin, I mean, Bill has said himself that he believes a lot of his success is due to Wall. I mean, Bill's production with Wall sideline flourished. I mean, but Bill would much prefer to have Wall by his side.
Shoot 2.
And they now lead as the free throw drops for him.
And, you know, you don't hear a lot of talk about it, but Brad Beal is one of the top shooting guards in our league. The scoring, the playmaking he provides is really right there amongst the elite.
Looking at who's out there now for the Wizards. Mo Wagner's checked in for Mahinmi. Davis Bertans comes in for Thomas Bryant. Smith checked in for Hachimura. And Thomas subbed in for John Wall. And Beal about a 25, 5 and 5 player last season, Greg. Most would agree that that's star-level production.
Those are Hall of Fame-esque numbers. I'd put him up there with Klay Thompson and Jimmy Butler. Fantastic scorer who does it with strong efficiency, and he's only getting better.
Jackson passes to Brown. Here's Drummond, covered by Smith. Here's Jackson. No good off the back of the rim.
And on the glass so far, it hadn't even been close.
And now the fast break. Thomas with the ball.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Here's Brown. Pass to Drummond. He dishes it to Jackson. And the wide open shot from Griffin to stop the drought. Drummond passes to Morris. Goes up again, and he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
Always awesome to see Morris crash the boards. He's not afraid to throw his weight around down there.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
77% shooter at the line a season ago. Those are better than average numbers.
And the Wizards making a change here. Brown's checked in, and then for Detroit, Thon Maker's checked in for Andre Drummond. Tony Snell comes in for Blake Griffin. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Jackson. Free throw good for Morris. Chris, at that free throw line, there's a lot of chirping, isn't there, among the players around the lane. It just seems like their mouths are always moving. A lot of chirping.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, for the ones that are sucking there and are tired, they're talking to each other. It's the only real break in action. And there's times, too, you get to see what has happened a few of the plays before, so you get to bust the guy up on some jokes or just flat out talking trash. And sometimes guys are saying, I hate to tell you this, but sometimes the guys are going, man, listen, I'm so tired. He's going to make this free throw. Don't push me too hard on this. I got to give Rex for a couple seconds.
They say that, huh?
Oh, yeah. Especially to the guys. I remember saying that to Ben Wallace one time. He was my rookie, and I was like, listen, man, you know Legs is going to make this free throw, man. Come on, don't push me all the way into the basket. You'd have a good
What was the
laugh.
response?
He pushed me into the basket.
The Pistons leading. Here's Snell. It's hauled in by Brown.
Man, you don't see this fella blow many layups. Not against D like that, anyway.
Good on the bucket.
It's that kind of aggression that's led to an increased role for Smith these past few years. I mean, they want him playing fast and attacking.
And, well, Detroit shooting to start out this game about 43%. Pass to Maker. Here's Galloway. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And, Chris, one thing you have to like about Galloway is that he's always prepared to play.
Yeah, Galloway is the type of player that can see 5 minutes on the floor in one game and then start and play 25 minutes the next one. I mean, just think about that focus for consistency. The production can be hit or miss, but he's a great plug-and-play option for a coach in need of filling minutes.
That free throw good from Galloway.
And Chris, just how special was it to play for Detroit in your career? What relationship does this team have with their fans?
Yeah, it was so special. I mean, being able to go home to the house that I grew up in or to where my parents lived and be able to go to the Pistons practice and to be part of it, to put on that jersey. It was so special, man. This team is a mainstay of the city. I mean, you feel like you can lift up the whole city when you play for the Pistons. It was such a special part of my career.
Now, here is Smith. Right side, Thomas. Always going up for the alley-oop here.
Good floor awareness, good vision. Thomas, dependable at finding open teammates.
And so Galloway with it. He'll bring it up for the Pistons. They trail by 1. Poked away, and it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Brown. Detroit with the ball. Galloway taking his time here. Brown outside. Knocked loose, and it's out of bounds. The Wizards will take it the other way.
Looking here at some numbers for Smith. Some last season stats for him. Averaged about 9 points a game last year. 3 assists and 2 rebounds. Nothing about his numbers really jump out at you, but he'll come up with a timely play or two every game.
Yeah, and sometimes that's all they need, especially in tight games. 1 or 2 plays can make all the difference.
Now, here's Bertans. Wagner can't hit. Here's Galloway. He's guarded by Thomas. And there's the pass to Brown. Five to shoot. And Wagner pulls it down. The Wizards with the lead. Smith right side. Passes it to Wagner. Fade away. Rebounded by the Pistons. 1:10 left to play in the first quarter. Pistons passing it around. Maker misses.
And if you ask me what percentage of the time he's making that shot, my answer would be in the single digits.
Yeah, that's not his spot, plain and simple. Just trying to force something is rarely a good idea.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line. And now a chance to see the former Demon Deacon Ish Smith in action. Has been in the league for a while now and played for several teams, and he's a veteran through and through.
Shoot two.
Free throw good, Smith.
You know, Kevin, the resiliency of Smith is something you have to admire. He's bounced around the league, but has finally become a valued rotation player.
Both free throws good from Smith. Pistons trail by 3. Brown feeling it out a bit, but they recover it. And it's good for 2. Morris has got his 3rd basket of the night.
Wow. Morris is a physical guy, solid at staying active on the boards and gobbling up these rebounds.
Smith outside. Pass to Bertens. 6 to shoot. Shoots over Brown. And again, Washington no good.
The setup's good. That's the shot they're looking for, but you can't get them all to go.
Makes it off the glass. And the Pistons lead by 1. A lot of give and take between these sides early.
Yeah, and both teams look like they came to play. We should have a good one.
On the wing, Brown. He's still scoreless so far in this one. And so it looks like the Wizards will retain possession here. Outside Thomas. Smith on the wing. All sorts of time. And he makes that one. Smith's got 6 points.
Solid shot selection from Smith. Phenomenal at measuring these type of looks.
Bradley Beal, he's been the guy making things happen for Washington. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. And we'll be back with you shortly. And being a smaller player is a challenge, but Isaiah Thomas always confident attacking the lane.
I just go in there. I've been doing it since I was a little boy. Like, I've always been the smallest guy out there, but when I get on the court, I feel like I don't see any height. So when I go in there in the paint, I expect myself to score or make a play for somebody else. And then, I mean, it just, other people go crazy about it. I feel like it's normal.
Thomas brings that fearlessness, Greg. He's always played with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, and he's got a deep bag of tricks for finishing around bigger players. It's really something to watch.
And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far in the scoreboard. And taking a look at the Wizards' performance here, guys, what are your thoughts?
Well, you can see these guys are unafraid to take chances defensively.
Yeah, it's a gambling style that pays off, GA, keeping things in disarray for that offense.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the court for the Pistons, Tony Snell is out there with Markieff Morris. Then there's Maker. Then there's Brown. And it's Galloway in at the point. Now, here is Morris. His last outing, he had 8 points. Just 5 on the clock. Tries again. And he banks in the layup. Morris has got the first points up on the board here in the second quarter for the Pistons. Washington trailing. Outside Thomas. And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
He was hoping to avoid a third foul before the breakup. Now, he might have to sit out until halftime.
Ryan is checked in for Washington. Here's Galloway. And we've played just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter. Brown outside. Ball's knocked loose. Morris outside. Brown against Thomas. Feeds to Bryant. There's the talk about lowering the minimum draft age from 19 back to 18. And guess how much of a difference does that 1 year make in a player's maturity?
It makes so much difference. I mean, you're young, you're coming into a league, you're playing against grown men. Just physically, your body hasn't been able to catch up. How do you handle the travel, being away from your family? Many times this guy's first time being away from their families that long. So it is a maturity process, but at the same time, there's only such a few. And if you're one of the few that have the skill set and you're ready to come to this level, we should welcome you with open arms.
And the first one at the line is good.
And so many issues for this Wizards team the last few seasons have been due to a lack of an inside presence.
Yeah, inside scoring has been a problem, GA. I mean, they've had to lean heavily on outside shooting. Also, though, they've been struggling with rebounding.
John Wall's checked in for Smith. That misses, so he splits the free throws.
And a new regime in Washington as they have moved on from the previous GM. A lot to do here.
Yeah, GA, and it's not an ideal cap situation to work with. Fans are excited to see what can be done. They need to land a few big free agents. It hasn't happened for the Wizards in a while.
And with his usual degree of difficulty, I mean, that's an easy one. Thomas able to just catch and release.
And we're about 2 minutes into the second quarter here. Rose passes to Morris. Wall grabs the board.
Oh, sloppy finish. The D was giving him the layup. He just didn't stay with it.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, in Blake Griffin, the Pistons have their biggest star in years, probably going back to their championship team of 2004. A return to all-star form for Blake meant tremendous individual numbers last season. And the Pistons hadn't won a playoff game in more than a decade. Still not the result they want in 2019. The Pistons will be trying to capitalize during Blake's prime. Kevin, we'll see where this franchise goes from here.
We sure will, David, but he's a terrific player. Thank you so much. Free throw good, Thomas. And we all know how rough things have been for Thomas the last few seasons, Greg, battling injuries and trying to find the right situation for his talents.
And the injuries have clearly taken their toll on Thomas. A lot of things need to go right for you to be a star player at his size, and lately that just hasn't been the case.
And both free throws good for Thomas.
It's a brand new era in Detroit, Kevin. I mean, Dwayne Casey has been given the reins, and there's a lot to like about the future. In a short time, has Detroit excited.
That one's good, and the Washington lead is cut down to 3 on the bucket from Rose.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
And Wall kicks to Mahimi. Pass to Thomas. From deep three-point range. A second chance effort. And goaltending is going to be the call. So they get the basket there anyway.
So close to getting the block there. You can live with those calls because you'd rather have a guy playing aggressive instead of playing it safe.
Beal's checked in for the Wizards. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Reggie Jackson's checked in for Tony Snell. Now the pass to Jackson. Back to Drummond. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Kennard. Takes a 3. Pistons working now with a new shot clock. Washington leading now by 5. Here's Hachimura. And he uses the glass on the layup. Hachimura's got 8 points.
And it's all about getting to the right spot. And Hachimura did just that in transition.
And so it's Rose who brings the ball up for Detroit. And Chris, for the Pistons, as we know, it's been a while without sustained success.
Yeah, Kevin, they're hoping that last year was a foundation type season. I mean, they had good results for them as they built this roster. This team is forming an identity and rebuilding the right way.
And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It's going to be on John Wall.
And a guy who's averaged as many as 7 free throws a game in his career, Rose knows how to get to the line.
And boy, what a year it was for Derrick Rose. And the sea of fans hoping that he would get back to what he once was, as he was electric.
And the first one drops. And for Rose, so many had written him off, but he was a huge factor for the Timberwolves.
Rose still has a tremendous passion for the game, and it really shows on the court. His renaissance last season was one of the better stories in our league.
Blake Griffin, he's checked in for the Pistons. And Rose drops them both.
Just solid, really one of the very best there is at the free throw line.
Wizards leading by 7. Outside, Wall. Pass to Mahimi. Pass to Hachimura. Rebound by the Pistons. Drummond's got 8 rebounds in this game. Rose attacking, and it's in there. Rose has got 6 points in the quarter.
How about the heart on display here tonight from Rose? Just flawless in his attack at the rim. Boy, it's tough to match his quickness.
Now here's Wall. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Look at that jam. I mean, just beautiful.
We all know Wall loves putting on a show. He has some ridiculous dunks up his sleeve.
Pistons trail by 7. Jackson looking around. The pass to Drummond. Rebounded by the Wizards. Up next for them is the Pacers in Indianapolis. That'll be just 1 game played away from home for them. They double team Beal. To the middle, here's Mahimi. And it's Mahimi finishing it off.
I love that pass. Wall is a classic point guard who makes everyone around him better. When he's missed time, his teams have always suffered.
The Pistons have gone 3 of 8 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. Outside Rose. Outside Jackson. Drummond trying to get himself free. No coverage that time. Jackson's got 7.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
Wall passes to Bryant. Wall against Rose. And Wall gets it to go in on the assist by Bryant. Wall's got his second basket of the night.
He's very good at staying in control on his drives. And with Wall's amazing speed, it's not easy to stay in control.
And now the first timeout called here for Detroit. Great value in rim protection, Chris. Talk about some of the characteristics that you have seen and you use yourself in being a good shot blocker.
Well, your reputation precedes you as a shot blocker. So as a shot blocker, you've already blocked enough shots that everyone knows, hey, I'm Rudy Gobert. Don't come here in here unless you want to get that shot swatted out of the way. My name's Joel Embiid. Did you see my highlights of last game? So really what I'm saying is a shot blocker is always in your thought process. I still have nightmares about Mutombo. Oh, come on, let's go to the next. Go to the next one, please. Come on. Get off shot blockers.
Here's Kennard. Following the basket by John Wall. Passes to Griffin. On the wing, Jackson. 4 on the shot clock. Bryant with the rebound. Bryant's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Beal, and finished off by Beal.
Man, it's hard. It's so hard for defenders to keep up with Beal. He has good quickness and speed for his position.
Pistons trail by 10. Bounce pass from Rose. Here's Griffin. They grab their own miss. Drummond. The feed to Griffin. Back to Drummond. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin.
Amazing awareness. He's committed to keeping his eyes up and teammates involved. That's the type of player Griffin is.
Wall draws the double. Dishes it to Mahinmi. Back to Wall. Launches it. Not going to go that time. And the Pistons now going the other way. Coming off that loss against the Nets.
I tell you, they were drawing a lot of iron from the perimeter. Couldn't get the threes to go down, and really the story of the game.
They kept chucking from distance, and ultimately it was their undoing. A disappointing result.
Oh, big time put back there. What a great motor on this guy.
There is no one who goes after those rebounds harder. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
And the chemistry Griffin has with his teammates, he's so good at realizing when to jump for the alley-oop.
Wall against Rose. Wall dishes to Bryant. The Wizards working the ball around now. Here's Mahinmi. Rebound by the Pistons.
They know they can't give him that shot. The D's all over it, not even giving him an inch of space.
And it's Rose missing. Wizards leading by 8. Beal from long range. Some solid defense there from Jackson.
He had 2 3-pointers in the opening quarter, and it hasn't been able to connect yet here in the second.
That shot by Griffin, no good. Washington's gotten into trouble with the 3-ball in the second quarter, only hitting 1 of 5 attempts. Count that one. Wall's got the lead up to 10 now for the Wizards.
He's finally coming around, trying to make up for that goose egg he put up in the first quarter.
The Pistons shooting 33% in the second quarter. The offense has looked crossed up and confused at times. Mahinmi against Jackson. Pass to Drummond. Shot clock at 5. And the rejection by Mahinmi. Here's Hachimura. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Well, Coach Scott Brooks has seen success in the past. Respected coach who has won Coach of the Year. But the heat is on in Washington.
Yeah, he hasn't had great luck here with the Wizards. I mean, new management this year might be evaluating him. I mean, he could be a make-or-break season for Brooks.
Shooting 2.
The first free throw is good. Well, it's a new front office in Washington, and Greg, they've got their work cut out for them.
John Wall's huge Supermax contract as he deals with the Achilles injury. Tough questions to be answered about the direction they're going to take talent-wise.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. Mo Wagner's checked in for Mahinmi. Bertanis comes in for Thomas Bryant, and it's Ish Smith in for John Wall. He's perfect from the line this time.
And although he started playing the game later in life, Hachimura has picked it up well, and exciting young player to watch.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And there's the call on Washington with the foul.
Well, yeah, and Andre Drummond is the epitome and maybe the last of the traditional center. And with that said, it hasn't been easy to find a match for him in the post. But Blake Griffin might have changed all that.
Free throw good, Drummond. And Chris, as you said, Griffin and Drummond work well together.
Oh, they do, Kevin. The two make up for each other's weaknesses and complement each other's strengths. I mean, Drummond has been playing with confidence having some of the best games since Blake has come over in the trade.
And both free throws good for Drummond.
Well, perhaps the most physically dominant player in the league, Andre Drummond. His combination of size, strength, and speed is unmatched.
Now, here is Smith. He has 6. Kicks it to Beal. Lets it fly. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Beal's got 4 points in the quarter.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flames.
Oh, yeah, and that's what you love about him. He shows no mercy, even with a comfortable lead.
Now, here's Brown. From beyond the arc. They get it back. Drummond, that's tipped.
And that's a welcome sign for sure. Hachimura demonstrating a willingness to want to improve as a defender. And guys, this is the way to stay in the game. They're doing a masterful job from the line. Perfect this quarter.
And for Blake Griffin, always a great outside shooter for the power forward position, Greg, but he's added range the last few seasons.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Griffin go from a guy who might take 1 3 a game to someone putting up about 6 a night. The results have been there for him as he shoots a respectable rate from beyond.
And he makes the first. Looking at league trends, do you miss the physicality of years past, which was so much a part of the time that you played?
I do, Kev. I do miss the physical game. I miss the bumping, the grinding outside in there in the paint. But I also love the new game and the spacing. You know, you can appreciate the game so much more. It's like going to a ballet and being able to see the movement of the players, what they're doing out here. And so I love the fact it's not hampered by guys getting thrown to the floor and grabbed. Do like the physical play, though. I just want to find a happy medium.
And the call will be against Langston Galloway. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Outside Thomas. Smith the pass to Bertens. Clock at 6. Pass to Wagner. Rebound, Detroit. Griffin's got 4 rebounds in this game.
Well, in the rebounding game, at least, it's been a strong physical performance for him.
Here's Galloway. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. Pistons have been exceptional shooting free throws tonight, going 9 for 9. And so he hits the technical free throw.
Well, last season was a successful one for the Pistons. I mean, they made the playoffs as an 8 seed. They were counted out at times, but had a strong second half to make it back to the postseason.
And the Pistons making a change here. Morris is checked in. Off the inbound pass. Griffin can't get it to go in.
And he has definitely been struggling in this quarter.
Just off his game, forcing a few shots, not letting the game come to him naturally.
Bertans kicks to Thomas. Tries it from 19. Detroit with the rebound. Griffin's got rebound number 5 here tonight. And Chris with the Pistons, an incredible run during February made the difference last season for them.
Yeah, well, the offense had been their weak spot, but it was clicking during that stretch. I mean, this team needs to find a way to play like that all season long. They've showed some flashes of greatness. Now it's just about continuing to improve.
No good on that one.
And when Griffin is healthy, he's an effective player, a double-double threat who's tough to match up against.
Good on the second free throw.
Didn't have a free throw in the first quarter, but you can see he's starting to play with more energy now. He has a tougher attitude.
top Bertans. Smith the pass to Wagner. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. And the Wizards lead by 10.
And since the first quarter, we've seen them ease off on that long-range affair. And frankly, that's probably a good idea.
Detroit's gone 1 of 6 from three-point land in the second quarter. Less than 20%. But they've continued to let them fly. And that one's good. Griffin's got 13.
Good luck finding anyone who's up to the challenge of taking on Griffin tonight. He's going to torch anyone they put on.
Smith finds Bertans. Back to Smith. The pass to Thomas. Smith outside. Lays it up and banks it in. 8 points for him.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Here's Galloway. There's 47 seconds left to play here in the half. Passes it to Griffin. Now Thomas. Over in the corner, Brown. Pass to Wagner. They get a hand on it. Morris with the block.
Oh, man, look at Morris. Use his reach to turn away a shot. He's excellent at cornering shooters and sending their shots back.
For 3. Offensive rebound. Now here's Brown. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Thomas deciding where to go with it. And it's good off the back of the rim and in.
Oh, and you talk about instant offense. Isaiah Thomas absolutely is in that category. Defensively, you have to game plan for this guy.
And so it's the Washington Wizards enjoying a 12-point lead as they talk things over during the break. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thanks. Bradley, great first half for you. Look, we know you come from a football-playing family. It looked like you wanted to establish control in a football-type way in the first half.
Oh, you have to. This is a physical game. You see the refs they call a lot of hard fouls, but sometimes they don't call them. So, I mean, you can't complain about it. You just have to just keep attacking. And these guys are big. I mean, it's the NBA, so you have to be physical and not complain and try to go strong every time you go to the basket.
Bradley, thanks for your time. We'll see you in the second half. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. Shaq is here. Kenny's here. You're watching the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. Bradley Beal putting in some incredible work. He had 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. And taking a look at the Wizards, Shaq, what'd you think?
Well, they're getting higher percentage looks, good game planning. The ball is moving around. Guys aren't pulling the trigger at the first thing they see. They're definitely staying disciplined. That's a big part of what has them having the lead at the halftime.
Over to Kenny. What'd you think about Detroit?
Their inaccuracy from behind the arc was brutal. Shot selection, I didn't see any. The perimeter offense they're running, you could scrap that. They need to get back to the basics. Pound it inside, more pick and roll. Try to pick up some easy buckets in transition.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take you down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my man Joel.
Joel, what up?
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Bradley Beal having a dominant impact in this game.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
Yeah, Greg, this game has his fingerprints all over it. Now looking to replicate what he did in the first half.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Ball runs the point with Beal at the 2. Mahinmi is out there with Thomas Bryant. And it's Smith in at the 3, the small forward. That's the route for Scott Brooks getting going here in the second half. And so it's Rose who brings the ball up for the Detroit Pistons. It's a 14-point game. Next up for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Now here's Griffin. Back to Rose. 5 on the clock. Pass to Drummond. He feeds it to Griffin. Yep, it counts. Griffin's got 15 points.
And it's easy to admire Griffin's game. He's excellent at absorbing the hit and muscling his way through contact.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Dwayne Casey was the 2018 Coach of the Year, but as we all know, he was fired after that same season by the Raptors. Casey's found a home in Detroit. Casey said, "I have no regrets." Winston Churchill said, "Success consists of going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm." And that's what I've done. So, Kevin, Dwayne Casey is still pounding the rock.
He sure is, and I like that Churchill quote as well. Thanks, David. And Washington making a change here. Hachimura is checked in.
And you gotta love watching Rose play the game. His intense style can be infectious out there, and I think it really does elevate his teammates.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
And he deserves a lot of credit for what he was able to do at the line last year. 86% from the stripe.
Shooting 2.
The first one falls. And both free throws good for Rose. And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. Ball against Rose. Outside, Beal. Now the dish to Mahimi. And it's sent back by Drummond.
Oh, he knows he has to be their defensive anchor. I mean, when Drummond hustles on this end, he can get these blocks.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
Pistons trail by 10. Andre Drummond still a very potent scorer inside, Chris, but he's leveled off a bit with his production.
Yeah, Kevin, he'll get you about 15 or 16 a night, but I don't know if he'll ever be a 20-point per game type of scorer. He's working on his free throws, so he could get there. A lot of fans were hoping that he'd grow into more of a scorer, but it seems like he's best off as a complementary offensive piece.
Now here's Wall. 8 points for him. Bryant, that's for 2. They get it again. Mahimi, and a good offensive board. And he gets the bucket. Mahimi's got 8 points.
How frustrating for the defense. You get the stop, but then fail to block out.
Yeah, and it's inexcusable. They're all too common. Basketball one-on-one. When the shot goes up, put a body on someone. They're on target from the start of the half. I mean, they're moving well. They're getting some good shots. Now, that makes them 3 for 4 from the field since halftime.
Now here's Wall. The pass to Beal. Bryant with the bounce pass. It's good. Wall's got 4 points this quarter.
And Wall has great size at his position and strength. He uses it very well close in.
Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Rose against Wall. And it's Rose penetrating. Here's Drummond. And Drummond throws it down. That gives him the double-double. 10 points and 18 rebounds.
Oh, with unparalleled power and athleticism, Drummond makes dunking look so easy.
So timeout called here, the first for Washington.
And team strategies closely guarded. One aspect of the game the fans aren't always privy to.
Yeah, and sometimes, Greg, it's the most subtle moves that make the biggest difference.
Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. Wall against Rose. Wall passes to Hachimura. He kicks it to Mahimi. Inside, here's Wall. 6 for 10 with that shot going in. That's a good game for a lot of guys.
His teammates keep getting him the ball in his favorite spots. He's done a lot for his shooting percentage.
Here's Jackson. But they'll get another chance.
And that's a nice job on the offensive glass there. That'll let them work the clock even more.
Oh, man, fantastic awareness from the big man. Drummond has an impressive understanding for when his guys have clean looks.
Back to Wall. Passes it to Hachimura. Misses off the right iron.
The rotation in the D could be better here. It'll cost them next time if it's not.
They get it back.
And they get it back again. I mean, how many rebounds offensively have they had? Everything's going right for them today.
Got that bucket in no time at all. 14 points for John Wall.
He's not lacking confidence, I'll tell you that. And Wall knows he has the green light to shoot off the pass.
And so it's Rose who brings the ball up for the Detroit Pistons. Outside Griffin. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Well, Blake Griffin has been working on that three-pointer now, Chris, for a while. Has gotten to where it's a factor.
Yeah, Kevin, and you're right. And for Blake, he doesn't need to make a ton of threes for it to be effective. All he has to do is keep the defense honest with it so they respect it enough where it opens up the rest of his offense.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That's good from Blake Griffin. Detroit making a switch here. Brown's checked in. Both free throws good from Griffin.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
Wizards leading by 8. Outside, Wall. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's going to be on Blake Griffin.
Speed, the precision of Wall is just electrifying. Exceptional at knifing into the D and forcing them to foul him. Well, John Wall coming back after that Achilles injury he suffered in the start of 2019. It's been a long road to recovery for him, and I know just how much he misses playing every day.
No good on the free throw. And C. Webb, as we know, with Wall, he made the most of his time missed by finishing his degree.
Yeah, Wall was able to take the classes he needed to complete his bachelor's degree from Kentucky. I'm sure he would have preferred to play instead, but he saw an opportunity with his education and made the most of it.
And he sinks the second.
Well, you know he's had to deal with some major injuries over the course of his career, but Wall never loses the drive to succeed.
Here's Rose. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Here on the 2K leaderboard are the rebounding leaders from a season ago. Number 1, Andre Drummond.
And, you know, he took a lot of pride in being at the top of that rebounding list. When all was said and done, he was a man among boys.
Take a break. 2 shots.
First one falls for him. Both free throws good from Rose. Wizards leading by 7. Right side, Wall. Pass to Mahimi. Bryant in the post, defended by Griffin. The shot's good from Bryant.
And the efficiency is there, but the aggressiveness is really lacking. So far, it hasn't hurt them.
Bryant against Rose. He dishes it to Griffin. Over Wall. And Griffin with the score. The assist by Rose. Rose has got 3 assists tonight.
And that's the role they want for Rose, getting guys going through his passing, especially when he can find them in rhythm.
Now here's Wall. 15 points in the game. Over to the left wing. Shot clock at 6. Hachimura, the pass to Beal. And it's sent back by Drummond. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. For the Wizards, Mo Wagner comes in for Mahimi. And it's Bertanis in for Bryant. And a switcher also for Detroit. Morris is checked in. Pistons trail by 7. Outside Jackson. Morris outside. Pass to Drummond. At the elbow, Griffin. Lets it go with the 3. Good on the 3-point shot. Griffin's got 11 points in the quarter.
Taking things into his own hands. He's been a beast this quarter.
Washington calls timeout.
And they're committing an awful lot of fouls here, and not of the good variety. You don't want to give up easy layups, sure, but it's been a non-stop parade to the foul line.
Thomas checked in for Beal.
And how about the numbers on Andre Drummond? Great showing for him last season. First in rebounding, 8th in steals, and he finished among the top 10 in blocks, bringing that intimidation factor to the paint.
And getting back to the fact that he led the league in rebounding, you know how hard that is? What a tremendous asset to the team. Here's Hachimura. 10 points for him. Here's Bertanis. That's good. And so Wall with the assist. Wall's got 6 assists in the game.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
Now here's Jackson. He has 7. Here's the 3. Shot is good, and the Wizards' lead is cut to just 3 points on the basket from Blake Griffin.
Like to see that kind of range from Griffin. He's got a nice stroke for such a physical player.
Brown against Thomas. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation.
And those are the kinds of mistakes that are magnified when we're talking about a game down the stretch.
Thon Maker's checked in for Detroit. So it's Detroit now. And here's Jackson. There's the pass to Brown. Just 5 to shoot. Griffin inside, working on Bertans. There it goes, it's in, and the Wizards' lead is cut down to just 1 on the bucket from Griffin. And so it's Wall with it, bringing it up for the Wizards. Passes it to Thomas. And here is Bertans. Over Maker. Bertans can't get it to go.
And boy, have they been hitting the backboard in this game or what? Kind of surprising it's such a tight game.
Shooting 2.
That one drops. He ties it up. And that drops, so they now lead by 1.
And a coach that players love is Dwayne Casey. Very vet-friendly, sticks up for his guys in every post-game interview.
Yeah, Casey is very measured in his approach. He can be a bit slow to change at times, but his players appreciate the consistency.
Now here's Wall. 15 points in the game. Bertans can't get it to go. Great offensive performance they're putting on.
And guys, we call that the zone because that's where they are right now. They are in a zone, and I'm sure they feel unstoppable.
They're not playing defense with anywhere near the passion they showed in the first half. There's been a big-time drop-off.
Dishes at the Wall. Here's Wagner, and Griffin sends it back.
Oh, you want more of this from Griffin. There's no question he has the size and vertical to block shots.
But they get it back.
Yeah, how about the percentage they're shooting from beyond the arc here in the second half?
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over.
Definitely not pleased with their rebounding at the defensive end. The number of putbacks they've allowed has been terrible. I'm sure that's what he's going to address during this timeout.
Troy Brown's checked in for Washington. Smith comes in for John Wall. Tony Snell's checked in for Detroit. Wizards trail by 5. Smith outside. On the wing, Brown. To halt the run. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Smith's got 3 assists tonight.
Look, he's a tough fella to deal with when he gets below the free throw line.
Thomas goes in with the shot, and that one's on target from the wing. Now just a 1-point Detroit lead.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
So it's the Pistons now. Jackson with it. 7 points in the game. Pass to Morris. Kicks it to Snell. And here is Maker, covered by Smith. 6 to shoot. Now here's Maker, guarded closely. Here's Griffin. Some solid defense from Brown. Washington's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's on Thon Maker. For Washington, they have shot 10 of 13 from the free throw line. Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead. That one is no good.
Boy, they would have loved to grab the lead there, but you can't make them all.
Jackson against Smith. Looking to get back on track here. Detroit keeping it alive. A new 14. Count the basket.
Yeah, second chance points again. A huge problem for this team.
It's a close game here in Washington. Pass to Wagner. Good, and the assist goes to Thomas. Thomas got his 5th assist in this one.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
And the basket by Maker. And it's Thomas with the ball. He brings it up for the Washington Wizards. It's Brown on the wing. Over Morris. And Maker sends it back.
Proving he can be an active defender. Great hustle from Maker to stifle the shooter.
Another shot. That one a little long. Detroit's gone 2 of 5 with the three-point shot since coming out of the break. Oh, Griffin in position, and the slam by Blake Griffin.
And how about the incredible timing on that alley-oop?
He absolutely hammered it down. Smith with it, now guarded by Maker. Smith drives in, lays it up off the glass. Smith's got 10.
The cleverness of Smith showing itself once again. Terrific at getting into the heart of the D and then cashing in.
The Pistons leading. Here's Snell. Outside Jackson. And Jackson throws it down hard.
And one step ahead of the defense with that solid screen.
And then Greg, the monster dunk to finish it off.
Well, come on, guys. Someone has to rotate over. Defensively, that's just poor communication.
Now here's Griffin. He has 35. Morris with the bucket.
Morris is excellent at cashing in on the catch and shoot. I mean, he's terrific at firing off the pass.
17 seconds left in the third.
And this will be the last possession of the quarter if they're patient.
Yeah, no need to rush right here. Let the clock run a little, then execute your offense.
Smith left side. And it's Smith again missing. And so it's the Detroit Pistons heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And from the most recent huddle, let's listen in on head coach Dwayne Casey.
All we got to do is move the basketball. The ball will find the right person. All right? Get it from side to side. Don't force it.
Greg, you can tell he wants his guys to work harder specifically in how they pass the ball.
I mean, it's just basic basketball. When you swing the ball around, the floor is going to open up.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. On the floor for Detroit, Rose is out there with Tony Snell. Then there's Markieff Morris. Then there's Maker. And it's Kennard in at the 3.
Not everything fell for him in that first half, and now it looks like they're beginning to hit their stride.
And Washington making a change here. Ryan's checked in, and the Pistons making a change here as well. Drummond's checked in for Tony Snell.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
On the free throw, no good. Wizards trail by 9. Smith dishes to Bryant. Smith left side. A baseline J. Kennard with the rebound. And, well, Detroit shooting at a decent 44% clip here. From deep, Rose. Washington with the rebound. Beal's got his 4th rebound in this one. Oh, and the dunk by Beal.
Beal is so tenacious on the drive. He shows no remorse to the defense on these type of dunks.
4th quarter just getting started. 1 minute in the books. Thomas against Rose. Connects on the foul line jumper. Rose has got the lead up to 9 now for the Pistons.
And you can see they're waking up after what was a sluggish first half for them offensively. They've been much more accurate from the field since halftime.
Now here is Smith to the paint. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. Andre Drummond picks one up.
Well, this is what Smith does best, keeping his eyes moving to set up the open man.
That free throw good from Mahinmi. Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. Rose surveying the D. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation. Hachimura, he's checked in for the Wizards. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Jackson's checked in. Wizards trail by 6. Thomas passes to Beal. We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. High arcing shot. And stolen by Drummond. There's a whistle, and it goes on Isaiah Thomas. That'll be his second foul of the game. Pistons leading by 6. Now Rose. Shot from 12. And it's sent back by Bryant. And it's out of bounds. And they say last touch by Bryant. John Wall's checked in for Isaiah Thomas. Jackson against Bryant. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Right block shot. Jackson misses.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
Well, that's why he's out there right now. In situations like this, he stands tall to prevent points.
Here's Wall. The shot comes out. Nice D from Rose.
And they hold a huge advantage on the backboard.
They get the rebound.
He's got to be disappointed with his performance, but it'll be easier to swallow if they keep the lead.
Back to Mahinmi. He kicks to Beal. Count it, and the foul. Andre Drummond picks one up.
And the added muscle of Beal coming into play there. I mean, he's just shrugging off the contact and getting it done.
Now here's Jackson. And there's the pass to Rose. Now here's Drummond. On the wing, Jackson. Defended by Bryant.
Oh, come on. How great is Jackson at earning these calls, especially from the interior where he is very crafty. Well, after dealing with some injuries the last few seasons, Kevin, the burst of Reggie Jackson just hasn't been there. However, he's transitioned into more of a spot-up scoring role with the team last season, and he took to it after some time.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. And with Jackson, as you said, C-Webb, it took some time for him to adjust to playing off the ball.
Yeah, Kevin, but once the adjustment was made, he looked great. It's never easy making a big change like that, but if you buy into it, it can work well for him and for the team as they have Blake Griffin doing more of the playmaking within the offense.
Both good from the line that time.
Oh, and Jackson is not just a terrific shooter, but a fantastic defender as well, using his great speed on both ends.
Rose against Wall. Out to the right wing. Here's Hachimura. The putback. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's an intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg, I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Passes it to Kennard. Plenty of space, and that one swishes right in. And so it's Wall. He brings it up for the Washington Wizards. They've given up just 8 points in the fourth quarter. Bryant passes to Beal. Shot from 6. That one good for 2. Beal's got 21.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
Detroit leading by 5. Here's Jackson. The offensive rebound. Morris. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Morris isn't afraid of getting whacked. In fact, he welcomes it when he's going up to shoot.
And I just love the skill set that Markieff Morris has, Greg, at that forward position.
He really is a do-it-all type of forward for this team. Can step outside and shoot, but has no problem guarding anyone on the front line of the opposition.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw good from Morris.
You know, I like Morris. He's a valuable contributor on both ends of the floor. Now, he's a sniper from deep, and he can definitely lock you up on D as well.
That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2. Wizards trail by 6. From deep, Wall gets the three-pointer to fall.
Always encouraging to see Wall hit from distance. I mean, it helps set up the rest of his offense.
Jackson dishes to Drummond. Outside Rose. Morris outside. Pass to Jackson. Lets it go from deep. Drills the three-pointer. Jackson's got 9 points now in just the second half.
Wow, his first triple of the second half gives him 2 on the night. He's not making much of an impact from deep.
Wall against Jackson. Here's Hachimura. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for 1 more at the line.
And showing some toughness on that take. Hachimura, these kinds of buckets can energize a team.
Pistons leading by 3. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
Well, those 5 turnovers, more than you like to see.
Rose against Wall. Pass to Bryant. Over Morris. Morris with the rebound. Morris has got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Kennard's shot is off.
And if you ask me what percentage of the time he's making that shot, my answer would be in the single digits.
Yeah, that's not his spot. Plain and simple. Just trying to force something is rarely a good idea.
Wall against Jackson. And Wall kicks to Beal. Over Jackson. And again, Washington, no good. Detroit's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Rose passes to Drummond. Over Beal. Rebounded by the Wizards. Here's Hachimura. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
And proving to be effective around the rim. Hachimura leaving no doubt about that one.
And here's Rose. Now the pass to Jackson. The 15-footer, good. Jackson's got 7 points here in this quarter.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
We see this all too often. You have to be willing to put in the work.
It's stolen. Here's Kennard. Trying to find Jackson. He's got it now. The layup missed. Rose against Wall. And the slam dunk by Wall.
And the aggressiveness of Wall feels like no one can guard him when he's hot.
Here's Kennard. Now a timeout called by Detroit.
And John Wall, of course, having to fight back from that torn Achilles, but also is now having to play up to that super max contract he signed.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Blake Griffin.
And guys, he's been about as close to perfection as you can be. The intensity he's played with has been amazing. Just no let up. And as fired up as he's been, he's never let his emotions get out of control.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear Dwayne Casey talk to his team. He knows this has been a hard-fought game, and he wanted his guys to just sit down and catch their breath. He said, look, we're right in the game, guys. Let's make a little push here. Let's come out with some bite. Kevin?
Cans it from downtown. And with Wall, no doubt he's a star guard. But with that contract, Greg, comes heavy expectations.
No doubt. And I'd like to see Wall become more proactive, really as a playmaker on offense in the near future. Depending on how he feels after the injuries, he might need to change his style just a bit.
No good on that one. Pistons leading by 4. Here's Kennard. Rebound by John Wall. Wall's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
He's done a lot of the little things to help put them in front. I mean, but his offense has not been there for him tonight.
Those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
And rightfully so. Also, how lackluster was the defense right there with the score this tight?
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Wall drives the double. Bryant gets a wide open look. On the wing, Bryant. Kicks it to Beal. To tie it up. And so it looks like Washington will retain possession here. Here's Beal. 4 on the clock. A second chance effort.
Well, you can tell the shooters are nervous when Drummond is close by. He is so skilled at getting his hand up when shots are being released.
There's Jackson with the 3. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Jackson's got 17 now, just in the second half. And it's Wall with the ball for Washington. Trailing by 5. And Mahimi now top the key. The dish to Beal. Good D by Drummond. Detroit's gotten 3 of their 6 3-pointers to fall here in the 4th. Rose against Wall. Outside Jackson. Drummond trying to get himself free. Morris. And Morris throws it down.
Wow. The size of Morris helps him down low, especially when he decides to sky high for the dunk.
Wall up top. He's covered by Rose. It'll go, and the Detroit lead is cut to just 5 on the basket from Wall.
And these are the possession Wall loves taking hold of. Outstanding at scoring in these important moments.
And, well, Detroit shooting 43% for the game. Now a timeout called by Detroit.
Adjustments are a part of the game, and the coach sees something he doesn't like here.
Yeah, I like the chess match that's going on here. Each team trying to find and exploit the favorable matchup on the floor.
Here's Jackson. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play. It's going to be on John Wall.
You don't mind fouling, John, but you got to get your money's worth. Can't allow the and one.
One shot.
Free throw good. Drummond. Wizards trail by 8. Beal with it. To the wing right side. Wall draws the double to the middle. It's stolen by Morris. And free throw good from Morris. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. For the Wizards, this one's not looking good. Pass to Wall. Good. It's Beal picking up the assist. Beal's got 4 assists now tonight.
Oh, how about the physicality from Wall on that finish? I mean, he was on a mission to score.
So it's Detroit now. Now Jackson. 1:39 left in the fourth. Drummond finds Jackson, and that one drops. Jackson's got the lead up to 10 now for Detroit.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
Yeah, that's why he's hot. He's playing with a lot of confidence. That's why they're going to him with such consistency.
And every miss finds its way to his hands. Well, what an impressive performance.
Yeah, Greg, and it's more than just being in the right place at the right time. I mean, he's been active and aggressive.
Here's Rose. They get the rebound. And that's good. A nice job on the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
No question as to which team gave the better effort tonight. A dominant performance and an outstanding win for the Pistons.
Their hard work on the glass paid off.
I tell you what, they're both excellent rebounding teams, and it was a tough battle underneath all game, and I think ultimately that earned the W.
And every win important, and this one will go down as win number 3.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Blake Griffin.
It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel. And as long as Reggie Jackson is healthy, he's going to give you some punch as a lead guard. Solid scoring option and a guy who's also unselfish in terms of getting his teammates involved.
And a new group getting ready to come in for Washington. Mo Wagner's checked in for Mahinmi. C.J. Miles comes in for Thomas Bryant. McRae's checked in for Bradley Beal. And it's Ish Smith in for John Wall. Then for the Pistons, Thon Maker's checked in for Markieff Morris. Doumbouya comes in for Luke Kennard. And it's Frazier in for Derrick Rose. Out left to the wing. Here's Hachimura. He's off on that one. And the Pistons now going the other way. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Jackson dishes to Drummond. Pass to Doumbouya. Lobbed up there for Drummond, and it's Drummond with the jam.
They just blocked out the noise, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
Showing remarkable poise and focus throughout the game. A sustained effort across the board.
Knocks down the three ball.
Yeah, and luckily they've got terrific depth at that position. If there's one spot on the floor where they can afford to lose somebody, that would probably be it.
Now here's Frazier. And so Detroit takes this one by a big margin. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, gee, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you very much, Blake. Another good night of work offensively. How does the team build on this?
Just keep that rhythm. You know, we're not always going to hit shots every night. Some nights the shots aren't going to fall. So just keeping that rhythm, keeping the ball moving, talking on defense, and relying on each other.
Congrats on a great win, Blake. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA. Presented by 2K Sports. So long and good night, everyone.